Unlocking the potential of your data and liberating it to the cloud is fundamental to driving true digital transformation. In addition to this, having a complete understanding of how your data and digital solution is hosted is of equal importance, and not having a thorough understanding of this could hinder the service you're able to provide your customers. With so many competing priorities, often data strategy and data integration get left behind. Over the course of our webinar series, we've spoken with a series of specialists in this space, and we've been in conversation with Technical Director at Cloud Solutions and App Development Agency, Dutrix, about why a modern data integration strategy is important and where to get started. In addition to this, we've also been in conversation with the CTO at cloud consultancy Wirehive about the perils of your website not scaling to meet unexpected spikes in customer demand. Here are some of our highlights from those episodes.
Well, it's probably easier to think first about how a traditional on-prem environment doesn't support scalability. If you think of a web hosting environment a bit like a major arterial road, a big dual carriageway or a motorway or something like that, you have to have capacity on that road for the peak traffic that it's going to receive. 95% of the day, that capacity is going to waste. And so you've used all that land, you've put all that cost into building that road, but it's only been used for that 5% window of the day. If you don't do that, if you go the other way, if you accommodate for the average traffic or just a small amount of traffic, then when you do have those peaks, people can't get down the road. It's not going to work. People are going to have a bad time, a bad experience. You're going to get grumpy letters to the council, etc. The hypercloud approach is a hypothetical road that just changes shape and lanes depending on the time of the day, the day of the week, the number of cars that are going down it. Any metric really that you can derive from the flow of traffic through your website can be used to reshape the environment dynamically to accommodate that traffic. You could have, to run with the road analogy, you could have a motorway that drops down to a single lane at 3 a.m. between Sunday and Monday, but then at 7 o'clock in the morning on Monday opens up for rush hour to a 5-lane, behemoth of a road, and then collapses back down again. And you're not wasting all of that cost and opportunity while you're not using it. I guess number one, it's increased adoption of serverless environments. So that means rather than, like I said, about running a fixed server the whole time, instead you're passing your code to that infrastructure environment, and it's making environments spin up and spin down as required. It's relatively new technology. It's still growing. Some of the off-the-shelf CMSs just don't support it at all. The best path to that is a completely bespoke design and build at the moment, but I see that growing a lot in the next 3 or 4 years. Then there's edge computing, as it gets called, which is distributing the delivery components of your site, the bits that are churning out the content, closer to where your customers are, using things like content distribution networks and so on to take that serverless environment I just described, but serve it from all around the world as geographically close to the customers as you possibly can. And the reason why that's good is because it reduces that round trip time from the client to the server. It gets them a faster, quicker experience. And I guess a final one, not that I want to play buzzword bingo, but it's AI and machine learning. It really is a big deal. If you don't already have exploration of machine learning in your C-suite's strategic roadmap now, you are playing catch up. It's not specifically the topic of this conversation, but cloud is such a huge enabler for machine learning that it's worth mentioning now. It's definitely a big part of the future of cloud and the reason for adoption.
If all of your data is spread across lots of different systems, then how do you police that? You're going to need lots of different policemen, to police all of those different systems. And it's going to be far harder to understand what is where, what kind of state of up-to-datedness that data is in, how kind of new and relevant is it? And by moving it to, it's not even about moving it to a central place, it's about creating a central place through which it is accessed. So as I said before, you don't have to liberate all of your data from on-prem to cloud straight away. It's about it's about having that gateway in the cloud as the access point to all of that data. So at that gateway, you can put in the security checks, you can put in the logging and the analytics and the access control. Don't ignore your problems, because they're not going to go away. They're just going to get worse. The fast-paced nature of technology is going to lend itself naturally to reacting without thinking it through and creating spaghetti solutions. Don't do that. It's going to make it hard to scale and hard to maintain. Don't ignore your problems. Do something about them. If you're serious about digital transformation and innovation, then stop doing things the same way that you've always done them. The cloud can be a complete game changer here. You need to take the time to explore it properly. If done right, it's going to speed things up and speed your development and roll-up times up by a factor of 3 or 4. Stop doing things the way you've always done them. Number 3, don't run before you can walk. It's tempting. You want to build the shiny new app or the digital transformation blah, but take the time to put the strategy and the platform in place and put the backbone in place first.
So there you have it, the highlights so far from our What If webinar series that have covered data management. If you would like to catch up on any of our previous episodes, you can find them on the News and Insights pages at www.mando.agency and on the Mando YouTube and Vimeo channels. We hope to see you attending a What If webinar in 2021 and gaining valuable insights from a range of professionals striving to improve customer experiences using digital channels.